Okay, huge news time. Last video, obviously, we put Supernova up for sale, and we told you that in this video we were going to say why we were selling Supernova. So I guess we got to tell you because we don't really hold anything back. So big announcement, and we've been waiting for this for a while. We haven't really. It was kind of a surprise to us. But Yvette, you want to take over? Oh, before you do, we have been dropping hints in previous videos. Some people have guessed it. Some people are a bit too smart. We should have made the hints a bit harder, but
yeah, a lot of theories going around. So here's a hint. These are for coconut. Here's another hint. We already have a baby. Okay, she's called Coconut. She's the cutest, most adorable baby in the whole entire world, and we're big kids ourselves. So another kid just wouldn't work.
All right. I guess.
Do you want to tell them?
Yeah. So. A bunch of people noticed that I really liked the big aluminum catamaran that we saw in Carriacou. But no, we are not getting that. That is a massive project. We've already put so much work into Supernova, and it's just not really... we maybe tried to get a hold of the owners a little bit. We had some help from some people that watch, and that was awesome. But we couldn't really get a hold of them, and it probably wasn't something we were going to do, so we didn't want to waste their time. The other thing is, you know, what's that? Hello Lagoon? You want to work with us? Hello?
They don't want to work with us.
No. Phantom Peugeot? Is that you? You want to give us a free boat? Oh, we have to pay double?
They also don't want to give us a boat.
No boat manufacturers would be calling us, offering us... hello? HH? Oh, no, thank you. No, not even for free. No. I
don't think we want to buy that one.
No boat manufacturers are going to be calling us, offering us free boats. And that's not really kind of what we do. We have done a couple of advertisements here and there, but only for stuff that we're really using, stuff that we really like. But no, we're not buying a new boat. We're not getting subsidized to buy a new boat or anything like that.
And another theory that really came up was a power boat.
yeah, no, we're, as much as we can't sail, we're sailors through and through. We like the art of slow life there.
Yeah.
So I guess
that theory was wrong as well.
No more putting it off. I don't know which knee is the correct one, but cheers. Go ahead and tell them.
Okay, we are buying another boat. It's not a new boat. It's not a 40-year-old boat, but it's a 20-year-old boat. So a little bit newer than this Supernova. It's bigger, it is newer, and it's going to allow us to do something that basically will allow us to stay out on the water for the rest of our lives if we want to.
So with Supernova, as much as we love Supernova, it's not really the boat that you can charter. We have actually had people ask us to come on Supernova and to charter it and everything, but you can't get the proper insurance for chartering or anything like that on Supernova. So this boat will allow us to do some charters. And yes, we know there's licensing, we know there's insurance, and we know there's certifications that we have to get and everything.
Yeah, it's not going to happen like that.
Yeah, we're all aware of this, and we've been working on it, but we have the necessary experience to go for the certifications we need. Believe it or not, we now have the experience to qualify for insurance, which is outstanding.
Just on a bit newer boat than Supernova.
Yeah, and so that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to be fixing it up. Basically, it's huge. It's like 62 feet long. It's a massive boat. It needs some work, so we have to do some work on it. The only reason that we were able to do this is because we got a massive loan. So it's not mommy and daddy's money that is paying for this.
It's not even ours yet.
Yeah, we literally are going to need to charter eventually to pay for this thing.
We've got a huge loan, so it's a big risk, and we ummed and ahed about it for a couple
days.
it was only a couple of days because we saw the boat, we thought about it. We'd been thinking about how we can actually make staying out here work long term. A lot of people ask us how we can pay for it, and I think
it's just running through savings is how we pay for it.
Yeah, we've used our savings now. I did go home and work a little bit last year, YouTube doesn't pay very much at all. It might buy us these beers, you know.
We have amazing support from our Patreons, and that's why we have really good video equipment, and our video quality just keeps on getting better, and we were able to pay for editing programs. So thanks heaps, Patreons. And if you haven't joined us on Patreon, there's an extra video that nobody else sees, only Patreons see, every week on Patreon. So we actually make 2 videos, and they are quality videos, and they're in real time, just like the YouTube videos are in real time.
Yeah, I think when we started out on this whole adventure, we wanted to keep it going as long as we could, but we knew that putting all our savings into the boat, all the fixing up that Supernova has taken.
Probably a mistake.
Yeah.
we put a lot of money into Supernova.
Yeah, we've put all our money into Supernova. All our years of work leading up to this has gone into Supernova, and the last couple of years cruising. And so now it's kind of at a crossroads of how do we either keep this going and continue our life out on the water.
Yeah, we had like 1.5, 2 years kind of tops left, and this is the life for us. We just want it to go ongoing, and we don't want to have to be super worried about, you know, what we're going to do in 6 months, what we're going to do in a year, and have that record time. We've decided that this is the life for us.
Yeah, and like we could go home and work part of the year and try and make that work, and that's always a possibility, but we love being out on the water, and we just really thought, how can we make this like our life? How can we make a job and a career out here so that we can continue, because otherwise we just can't.
and we love hanging out with people, and we know how to have fun. Believe it or not, we are both very good cooks, and we're taking an online chef's course. I'm a dive instructor. We're both
scuba diving and free diving.
And so we know how to make people have fun. And so we figure the charter business is where we could, you know, make a little bit of money to help keep this going on.
And also we've realized through YouTube and Patreon that we really like showing other people this world out here, and this whole new world. Like before either of us got into sailing, we hardly knew that it existed, and we really love it, and so we would love to take other people and show them parts of this life, whether it be here in the Caribbean or other places around the world later on. But yeah.
So I guess we would tell you exactly what boat we're getting. The last like couple things are waiting to go through. On Patreon we've already said it, but promise next week we will tell you what boat we're getting,
because it should be finalized then. This has all just been happening last week,
and by next week, because we are in real time, by next week we will be sitting on the boat
in another country.
Hence
why we bought these. We did not buy them because of the baby. We literally bought them for Coconut, because she's going to be coming with us on a flight, and it's quite a long flight, to give you a bit of a tip.
Dun dun dun.
All right, but before we leave, we do need to do a whole bunch more work to Supernova, as always. So we better get to it.
Yeah. Oh, it's been so rushed, and like we've had no time to do anything. If anyone knows of the best place to like flag a boat, please let us know, because we are struggling hard.
Yeah, there's so many decisions between our countries. I'm a Dutch and Australian citizen, Canada, and then obviously there's a lot of things online about all these other islands around the world, and then there's Poland supposedly is very easy. Yeah, there's so many things. If we're going to do chartering, is it best to charter in places that you're going to be chartering, or in your own country, or what? Yeah. So give us a bit of a hint with that. But otherwise we'll probably have a lot more questions in the upcoming videos and some more information for you.
And this time we're not going to wait like a year and a half to give you guys like a full boat tour. Within the first couple weeks of being on the boat, we'll do a full boat tour. It's basically, we bought an old super yacht. It's the thing's massive.
Yeah, we're excited, and we're excited to bring more and more people along for the adventure with us.
It's going to be absolutely incredible. Okay. All right, finish these beers and then on to the work. Yeah.
Greetings from the chemical locker. So we're at the stern of the boat right now, and I'm just trying to get a good vision on where I'm cutting. And there's some little holes back here that lets me see the fuel tank. So I'll show you what I can see here. So just in here, this is the fuel tank here. And so I'm trying my best to look in there, and man, it is hard, but I think I got it figured out. So now we just have to mark out and cut, and hopefully I was right.
this is our hatch, and I've traced it out. So we just need to cut a hole. We're gonna put this, a hole effectively right here.
Into our cockpit, which is why it's taken us so long to do this, because we just thought, surely there's another way to clean it out, but we need to do it really well. Yeah. And this is going to be the best way to gain really good access.
So we've traced this out, and I'm just going to make sure that the fuel thing that we need to weld on here can fit in here properly, and then we're going to start cutting. Man, this is going to be a difficult... there's not a whole lot of room between the floor and the fuel tank, so it's going to be a difficult cut.
It's got to be done though. Got to figure it out. And then we're putting that hatch in so that we can always, or whoever buys the boat can always have access to the fuel tank in future.
Cleared everything out, and you can see where I've drawn around. I drew around the inside of it, so I put an extra bit of thickness on it so we could, the wall thickness of the hatch. So now I'm just gonna cut into the corners. It's a bit hard with this one because it doesn't have like a center thing. But I'm gonna try and cut into each corner and then use the circular saw so I don't cut too deep. Now the serious bit begins, but some protection first. We're all ready to go. We just have to deal with a little bit of rain. Well, it's not raining right now, but that's why the cockpit's all back full of stuff. But we're good to go. So we're going to mark out now, and then we're going to drain the fuel, and then we're going to cut. So, you know, this is in the exact right position. I didn't think about showing it to you guys beforehand. So I'm going to mark it out, and then I'm going to show it to you. So the marking out should be relatively easy. So there, it's marked out with only a small bit missed. There you go. And so this is what it is. It's just it's a weld-on flange, and so you just basically cut so this can drop in, and then you weld it on, and it's pretty simple. So it should be pretty simple.
Famous last word.
Yeah, famous all. Yeah, exactly. So we have this weld-on flange, and then we have pickup tubes. We have 3 of them. We only need 2 of them. And then we have these 1/2 inch instead of 3/8 90s. So everything should go rather well. Looking forward to it. So we need to mark these out as well, but that's not as important right now because it'll just be a drill bit that does those. I have to cut that with a saw. But now let's drain the tank. And I don't think I should have to do that. I think you should.
Fair enough. So here is our monster fuel polishing system. It's huge. It can do about 680 litres in an hour. That's about 180 gallons. So that means it can do our entire fuel tank. So polish all the fuel in our full tank if it was full in around 35-40 minutes. So it's really, really good. I installed it back in Vancouver and we've been running it kind of ever since. And so we didn't have any problems for a long, long time until more recently. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to get the fuel out of the fuel tank. And to do that, I'm going to put the fuel through the polishing system, and then I've run this hose into the jerry can. So I'm just going to get any fuel that's left in the fuel tank into these jerry cans. It'll be nice and polished, and then we'll have emptied the fuel tank, and then we'll go back up and cut into the fuel tank. And so together with this fuel polishing system and now also a hatch in the fuel tank, there's not going to be any fuel problems on this boat finally after all this time. All right, I got to let you out, Darcy, to go and flick on the fuel pump, and then we'll get to it.
Sounds gravy. And for anyone who hasn't installed a fuel polishing system in your boat, it is really easy. Do it. Because the quote we were given was like $2,000 to polish the fuel once.
Yeah, just to polish it once when we had issues up after Alaska. And so instead we bought this massive filter and fuel polishing stuff and put it all together ourselves, and we've been able to filter the fuel ever since. So yeah, it's a really good investment.
I don't know what you're talking about putting it together ourselves. I didn't touch it. All right, you want me to turn it on?
Yes, please. All right, I'm ready.
Okay, turning on.
Yep, it's coming.
Tank's empty now, and we've had a quick bite to eat. The sun just went down. We are about to drill into a fuel tank. Now, I can't stress this enough. Don't do this. Don't weld on a fuel tank. Don't do any of that. Bring it to a professional. I have done this before. I'm a ticketed welder. I can do this, and we've taken a bunch of safety measures. So this meter reads, amongst other things, oxygen levels and lower explosive limits and upper explosive limits. And I've been trained in how to use this, and I trained people on how to use this. And we have a CO2 tank that we're using to purge the fuel tank. And we will show you that system and everything before this is all over. And we've tested the air coming out of the purge of the tank. And it went down to, I think, 2% oxygen. And the LOC, or limiting oxygen concentration, is 12, I think. I think it's 12%, 14%. It's 12% for diesel fumes. So that means there needs to be at least kind of 12% oxygen in the air for diesel fumes to blow up. And we've got it down to about 2%, and it's probably less than that inside the tank. And that's only with a little bit of purging. And we'll be doing a bunch of purging before we actually do any drilling into the tank. So we're about to start. Don't do this at home. We have done it properly. I do know what I'm doing. We have the proper purge and everything on board. So just a final thing. Anyway, we're going to drill into this diesel tank now. So Yvette, you can't hold the camera because you're going to be on the purge to make sure it keeps running. And we're going to drill into the tank, and then we're going to cut around it with a saw because it's just aluminum. So with a jigsaw, it should be pretty easy. Ready to go?
Ready.
Go. I think we just got very, very lucky. It's going to take a little bit more work, but the middle of the tank has a anti-slosh thing in it, and we just happened to cut damn near directly into it, which means that we can access kind of both sides of the tank from here, which is perfect. Extremely fortunate.
Yeah, if we'd just got on one side, we would have only been able to easily clean one side of it, which is the whole point. So, can you see anything?
Looks pretty clean.
It does. That's like a stain or something on that backside, isn't it?
Oh, I can see some algae growth.
Is that the brown stuff, or what is that? Or is that just like a metal stain?
Here. So you can see that, like the stuff that looks kind of a little rust colored, that's just bare metal. And then the other stuff is all algae, the dark stuff.
Oh, the dark stuff is the algae.
So it'll take some cleaning out here.
There's still a fair bit of diesel in it too.
This is the new pickup tube we're putting in, and we also have a new fuel sender. Not fuel sender, we also have a new fuel. I think it's like a level sender, it monitors the level of the tank. So we're putting in one of those and two of these. So we're going to drill the holes for these now, and then quickly drill the holes for the other ones before it gets too late, so we don't make anybody mad. Looks like it scrapes pretty easily. It's probably going to take a little while.
Oh, wow.
So
So there's your problem.
Whoa.
I don't know if you can see it, maybe more light. There you go. So it's time to get scrubbing.
There's like full-on chunks of white stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This is the fuel level sensor, so it should just go in the hole we just drilled, and hopefully it doesn't go all the way to the bottom and hit. Okay, so that's good. It goes pretty much almost all the way to the bottom. There's just enough room for the gasket there. The gasket's in its little bag, but it's the absolute perfect size for this tank, which is very, very lucky. Because it was bought on like an eyeball measurement, but like the best possible measurement. The other thing is, because there's still fuel in this tank, it tells us that the pickup tubes don't go all the way to the bottom. Now, they're not supposed to go directly to the bottom and like touch the bottom, but they definitely should go deeper than it goes now. And it helps do a couple of things. So if the fuel pickup tubes go a lot closer to the bottom, if there's like some little junk or whatever, it can pick it up easier and then get it to your fuel filters, and so it doesn't build up in the tank. But you don't want it going all the way to the bottom, because then it can restrict flow and stuff if there's algae or it's called diesel bugs, some people call it, get built up in there. So our fuel pickup line does not go deep enough. So there's probably close to, I'd say 50 liters of fuel, maybe a bit more. In gallons, that will be like maybe 15 gallons, close to 15 gallons, I would say. 60 liters, 15 gallons. Of fuel that's just left in this tank that's not touched. So,
but our new one's gonna go much deeper.
Our new one's gonna be sized properly, because when I bought these, I made sure to get them too big, too long, and then I can just chop the bottoms off really, really easy. It's just aluminum, and get them to the exact perfect size that I need. Stuff is actually starting to work out. It's nice.
Yeah, it's cool finally seeing our fuel tank.
Yeah.
So here's all the slosh we got out of the tank. It's pretty crazy. It's like really, really thick. We've been sailing around with this in the tank for quite a while, probably.
We've purged the tank again. It is the next day, because it was going to get kind of late and stuff. Not that welding makes noise, but I was sleepy. Anyway, we've purged the tank again, and we're about to start welding. So as long as it doesn't go boom, we're all good. We're getting 2-3% oxygen readings again, so there should be no combustion possible. So let's get to this.
Well, as you guys know, we are in real time always, and we haven't quite finished the fuel tank, but this is the time that we would normally upload a video to YouTube. So we're going to go and finish the video, upload it, edit it, whatever, and finish the fuel tank hopefully this afternoon.
Oh, for sure, we'll get it done this afternoon.
It's almost there. We've got all the parts. We've got the hatch finally. It took us a little while to find the right one in the shops here, and they were closed because of a lot of the carnival that was on this week. But we've got it all together, and we'll show you the finished product next week. Don't forget, if you're interested in buying Supernova, just send us an email, or if you want to know any more information, we're happy to send that to you as well. We hope you're kind of going to follow along with all our adventures coming up. It's going to be pretty different, but it's also going to be really fun. We're really excited. It means we can stay out on the water, hopefully, for the rest of our lives. That's the plan anyway, and this is going to allow us to do it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going to go inside now and watch the news closely in Australia, because where I grew up, where all my family is right now, is getting hit by a cyclone. It never has gone there, I think, in 50 years, so it's pretty unusual. And we had really bad flooding in the area where I grew up only a couple of years ago. So I'm kind of worried about that happening again. So I'm off to do that. Hope you enjoy the video.
Your parents are doing good though, right?
Yeah, they're all right at the moment. I've got all my cousins and friends and family there, and hopefully everything's going to be okay, but we'll see. The flooding's the main worry for me. Anyway, we'll see you all next week. Show you the fuel tank finally done, a few more things sorted out on Supernova, and then some big changes coming up. Bye guys.
Huge thanks to everyone on Patreon. You guys have been so supportive. I just can't even say how much your words mean to us. Like, it's just right here, right in the field. So thank you very much. And yeah, see you guys next week.